What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a quick and easy and hopefully interesting video for you guys. I just decided to pick up my camera and please don't mind my background. I'm in the process of packing, getting ready to go home. You guys will see the vlog. I'm sure it's going to come out after this one. So, we are talking about some of my reservations about going on an actual date. So, there is a difference between a relationship and dating. I've been in relationships, but I've never really been asked out on a proper date. I've never really gone out on a date with somebody I was romantically involved with. I've gone on dates with friends, but I mean, on a romantic level, I haven't really experienced that, and I've actually never been asked out by anybody. I don't know why, but I do have my own reservations about going on a date, especially with random strangers. Like people that I meet for the first time, I'm a bit hesitant to give that a shot. I don't know. I think it's mostly to do with my craniofacial deformities condition. Everything else, the visual impairments, the hearing impairments, the speech impairments, none of that is a problem, but the physical aspect of having a disability like mine, it's a bit challenging because I become so self-conscious. Naturally, I'm a confident person and I know how to interact and connect with people. But when it comes to the thought or the idea of going on a date, I'm scared. I'm scared of having to deal with being asked random questions and not just random questions, but uncomfortable questions. And mind you, some of these questions I've been asked online, on the phone, on social media. So if I feel uncomfortable being asked some of these questions in my DMs, how about in real life? How about in person? How am I supposed to react? How am I supposed to respond? If you guys understand where I'm coming from. For example, I once had somebody ask me, I can't exactly remember how they phrased their question, but it was something to do with, what was it? Okay, they asked me if I was physically able to be intimate, if I was physically able to do what married people do. And I thought to myself, okay, it's not a problem to want to know and it's not a problem to ask, but naturally I'm not just gonna be on the defense and say, hey, that is none of your business whether I am able or I'm not able, that is none of your business. If you know, then what? What are you gonna do with that information? Unless you actually want to be like in a relationship with me, if you wanna get to know me. And I also think it's the approach, the way that some of these questions are asked. And then another uncomfortable question. It was natural for me to feel some type of way, but I also understood why this person asked me the question. So I once had a guy who's totally blind ask me. I think they asked me that question after watching one of my videos when I talk about having a living with craniofacial deformities, and I was explaining how I had a clear lip and a clear palate. So they were bold enough, and I appreciate them for asking. It was a genuine question. But I realized that from the point of view of somebody without a disability, if they were to ask me that same question, I would really be uncomfortable because I'm so used to people without disabilities looking at people with disabilities a certain way. And society just feels like people with disabilities cannot do absolutely anything, which is totally the opposite and very untrue, very false. So I'm digressing. So this guy, the guy that I'm talking about who is totally blind, they asked me if the area where my mouth is accessible for kissing. I know it's weird, it's kind of hilarious for someone to ask you if your mouth is accessible to kiss you. And well, I lost when I got that question, and I did tell him and I explained to him that yes, I was born with a clear lip and clear palate, but I did get surgery to correct the clear lip. My lips look very normal. I eat properly. I don't have any challenges when it comes to that intimate act. And yeah, so I guess my major concern is how I am going to be asked some of these questions. I don't mind being asked anything to do with my disability, but I think it's important to ask with respect. I don't like it when someone asks you directly and says, "What happened to you?" Do you understand where I'm coming from? I like it when someone says, "Do you mind me asking, what is your condition called?" Or, "Can I please ask, what is your condition?" If you want to know about my condition, don't ever say to me what happened to you. I mean, what happened to you? Or what's wrong with you? Especially, what's wrong with you? I'm gonna pose a question back at you and say, hey, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, dude? Ain't nothing wrong with me over here. I'm living my best life. So that's definitely one thing that I am very self-conscious about. The way that people are gonna be asking some of these questions. And I guess some of the questions also are just really outrageous and out of this world. Ridiculous. Some of the questions are just too obvious and insane. I mean, for example, someone will ask you, so how do you shower or how do you bathe? Why would I not be able to shower or take a bath on my own if I am able to walk and use my hands to do a lot of things? People don't actually realize that I have a lot of capacity to do things. I have some level of independence. My only major challenge is mobility, but if I am taught how to do certain things, I definitely will be able to grasp those things and adapt in my own way as somebody with a visual impairment or hearing impairment or speech impairment, whatever it is. I am able to learn and adapt. And then the next thing is I am also very self-conscious about what other people think and will say when they see me on a date with somebody. I don't like. I feel like I would be very uncomfortable because my mind will be racing. The person that I'm with, in this case, I'm mostly talking about going on a date with somebody without a disability. Obviously, people with disabilities, I don't mind. We can go on a date, we can hang out because we kind of come from the same background. We kind of understand each other Even though not every disability is the same, our experiences are different, but the fact that we have disabilities makes it easier for us to have a mutual understanding and have something in common. So when it comes to going on a date with a guy without a disability, I think my mind would just be racing and asking if this is okay because I know that people do stare, people do look, people do pass on their comments, and I don't want to feel like the person that I'll be on a date with is vulnerable or prone to bullying because people can really be nasty out there. There are bullies out there, and I don't want people to come on to my date and say, "How can you be on a date with a person like this? What is wrong with you?" Or past comments like, "Don't you think you're abusing her?" Or some of those crazy comments like, "Oh, you're such a nice person for taking her out," or "You're such a nice person for being with her." I don't want my dates to be seen as like my savior or superhero or something like that. I just want to have a normal date, get to know somebody, have fun, make memories. And I think that's the reason why I prefer to build off relationships from friendships. But unfortunately, there's also a challenge with friendships. I keep a respectful distance when it comes to my male friends. But there are one or two guys that I feel like I would never ever date. But I am 100% myself. They know me when I'm serious. They know me when I'm a clown. They really get the real English way on a daily. And I guess I'm the fun person that some of these people get to know and experience. So those are just some of my reservations about going on a date. Just being aware that people around me are gonna be staring, taking photos or videos, posting online, whispering to each other, commenting, judging, or even attacking the person that I'll be on a date with. And I also don't want a situation where people will think that my date is probably my brother or my friend because it happens a lot with other people with disabilities. I know there are people who are in interracial relationships where people think that their brother and sister or their friends or cousins when in actual fact they are boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife. They actually have a romantic partnership. So I don't want to have that kind of situation. And if I'm ever to get into a relationship, the next one will definitely be on the down low. I'm gonna be low key about it because I don't want to blow up or begin to trend just because a guy without a disability with a good heart has decided to give us a chance. I really don't want to get cloud from that. I feel like that is just temporary. At some point people will get used to it and the cloud will just fade. And generally just having people all up in your business can be a problem. So I don't know. It now depends on the kind of person that I'm gonna end up with and what kind of relationship we're also gonna have. But I'm definitely somebody that is learning to keep certain things to myself because I tend to share a lot. I mean, that's why I'm even a YouTuber because I'm not afraid to open up and share a lot about my life and experiences. So hopefully the next relationship that I get into, I'm gonna be going on dates and I'm gonna be comfortable and gonna embrace it, make the most of it, and who knows? If you guys continue to be nice to me, who knows? I might give you guys a sneak peek of my love life and give you some action. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I like you guys deep. Please do make sure to comment down below with the real rose emoji and the like this video and the subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this video as well if you care. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!